Christmas comes once a year, and so does Assassin's Creed. Also like Christmas, much of the spirit has been drained from this annual event. The Assassin's Creed franchise is a success story from the previous console generation. A series that underdelivered on its promises during its maiden voyage, but returned with what turned out to be one of the best games to hit the Xbox 360 and PS3, by means of Assassin's Creed 2. This newest generation also saw its first proper next-gen Assassin's Creed game get off to a rocky start. Given the franchise's history of the second time being the charm, has Syndicate managed to reinvigorate the rapidly aging franchise and deliver a stable and enjoyable game. This time around, you dive into the memories of Evie and Jacob Fry, who after a quick introduction and tutorial decide to hop onto a train to London and liberate the Victorian capital from the Templars, embracing the classic Assassin's Creed formula of assassinate bad guys while trying to locate a relic. Aside from the wrinkle of having two assassins, everything here is very familiar, throwing the protagonist into generic objectives which only differ from previous entries by location and time period. Syndicate doesn't propel the franchise forward in terms of narrative. The new assassins may be an interesting pair, but sprinkling sugar into a cup of water doesn't make it a tasty beverage.
We can rally them to our side.
Oh, like the way that you rallied those card players at the Open Tavern into the river.
Oh, that was different. They beat me at whist.
The gameplay hasn't seen much of a change either, and the restrictions applied to each assassin don't necessarily show up until the last few upgrades. The combat heavily relies on counters, yet again preventing players from going onto the offense like many other games, which can be seen as a positive or negative. A grappling gun is acquired early on, streamlining the traveling and reducing the repetitive nature of having to climb everything in the large city of London. Objectively, there has been some tinkering with Syndicate's gameplay, but these changes don't add up to much since most of the game is a paint-by-numbers affair, lacking anything resembling character or soul. Liberating London is a definite task. You clear out the trash over and over again until all the red is erased from the map before you tussle with a gang leader in a street brawl. Then the process starts all over again in a new region of the map. The few challenges found in the game come when trying to earn bonuses during a mission, which are given when certain criteria are met. At first, these are a great means of earning experience, but as you progress through the game, you realize how much easier it is to take out reoccurring challenges since they provide a greater amount of experience and money. The generic Templar hunts are nothing new since the player can follow the same steps to complete them with ease. Use eagle vision to spot the target, throw a few knives, or easier yet, shoot a hallucination dart and watch at a distance. Or even better, as a new feature, call upon your gang, the Rooks, who roam the streets eager for a brawl upon your beckoning. Participating in these alternate bonus challenges in the main mission does not immerse the players into the role of being an assassin, but the hand-holding approach offsets the experience, especially when everything is laid out for the taking. They give you all the alternatives and the locations of everything. After so many games, Assassin's Creed lacks depth in its assassination missions. Perhaps Ubisoft should take notes from other franchises like Hitman.
We found a clue to a precursor object. Don't you want to follow it?
Put that way, one can hardly refuse.
Even though Syndicate falls short in most areas, the visual department is a notable exception, delivering a rendition of London that is convincing and littered with detail. It's a living world and the NPCs give the feeling of being part of its period. Groups sing in the streets, dialogue can be entertaining, and after playing for hours, it doesn't fail to surprise. It's easy to argue that Assassin's Creed's greatest strength have always been the environments and time periods in which the games take place. Each game is flavored by the history and culture of the period it takes place in, and these settings are often unique when compared against the settings of most every game on the market. Syndicate is no exception, and Victorian London may be among the most compelling settings for any Assassin's Creed title yet. The mocap is superb, the character designs are cool, and the dangling carrot of crafting or unlocking a new weapon is one of the few appeals of reaching a higher assassin level. The soundtrack is okay and can be seen as humorous, especially when you're caught choking someone out and then run off as a string melody plays in the background.
It doesn't have to be this way. Please, please.
Developer Ubisoft has done a lot in the Assassin's Creed series, but much of its attempts to improve haven't really revolutionized it. They gain, they lose, and that inconsistency has swayed players from its once unique platter. If it wasn't for Ubisoft's obsession to lovingly recreate major cities during pivotal points in history, the series won't have a shred of soul left. The gameplay, mission design, and narrative are like a reused Mad Lib where each new game comes with new nouns and adjectives. We look back at our history with any Assassin's Creed game and think about how easy it is to choke or kill a guard in front of a dozen bystanders with little repercussion. The elephant in the room is the fact that since its inception, Assassin's Creed hasn't been the greatest at providing players with satisfying stealth and assassination gameplay. When this realization is paired with repetition and padding, it's hard for those who have invested so much time in the series not to begin to resent it. Those who are drawn to Syndicate as their first or second game of the franchise will likely be able to see past the warts and enjoy the ride. The only thing we know for sure is that there will probably be a new Assassin's Creed game in October or November of 2016. We just hope to have something new to say about it.
Assist yourself and fortune will help you. Your tears are only vain if defeated, try again. You'll find it all the better if you do. So work, boys, work and be contented, as long as you've enough to buy a meal. A man you may rely will be wealthy by and by, if he'll only put his shoulders